The Layer's a hard place to live. Real hard. Ain't no soft landing nowhere in here. Smiling at you like it already know your name, already in the room when you walk in. That's the slings and arrows, you don't hear them fly, you just feel that sting and wonder where it came from. Whole layer wrapped in dark mystery. Old magic in the walls. Wizards whispering deals they don't keep. Dragons watching from the shadows, counting bodies like loose change. Succubus love looks sweet at first, then you wake up lighter than you went to sleep. Heart tax, soul pawn. It's war out here. Quiet war. Betrayal wear silk and smile real nice. Same cats break bread with you. Be the one selling your name 2 streets over. This whole thing a stone cold trip, baby. No fair fights, no refunds. So whatever shield you walk around with, it better be battle tested. Not shiny. Not shiny. Not fresh out the armory, I'm talking chipped paint. Bent edges. Blood you couldn't wash off even if you tried. Cause the layer don't care how fly you look in your armor. They care what's still holding when the smoke drifts off. If you still here tomorrow, still breathing, still standing on your square, then yeah, you's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Layer.
I think we're gonna go with this one. Somebody said that one freaks him out. Our banner. I will be here, y'all. I just, work more. If we get the StreamYard hook up there, we get the StreamYard hook up there. It just has to make sense. If we have the commercials, we just had the commercials, but I'll be here. All I can do is hope that it's entertaining and, do the other things that you're supposed to do in these YouTube streets, which is get to monetization. So that's subscribers. So please subscribe. That's watch hours. So I'll have to be here for the watch hours. Like I said, I hope I'm entertaining. But I will get the affiliate links eventually. I will talk about the mic. I will talk about the camera I've been using for the 4 years. I think the camera's pretty good. I've been through a few mics. I've been through the AKG. I've been through this condenser mic, and I've been through the Rode Mini. I was going through a lot of Rode stuff. The Rode Mini is a USB mic though. I noticed when I look back at some of those Trader Truth Teller shows, when multiple people are talking, the mic's clip though. I want a mic that I know will just be consistent no matter what the environment. I've been through 3 though.
Good morning, Almanize. Good morning, SD. Yeah, like I said, it just has to make sense. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh I asked y'all to, send me suggestions about shows y'all want me to do and whatever else. The one person that's been consistent to do that has been Sin Seven Sin, but all the stuff she sends me is always like some LGBT community stuff. I guess she wants me to understand that the current world we're in, that's really impactful and then whatever else. So when y'all see me looking at Bell Hooks and Gloria Steinem and this different stuff is because that was the suggestions that was sent. I will respond to suggestions that are sent. If I have multiple of them, I will save them and we will go through them. We're going to start tonight, though, with Myron Gaines talking to a trans person at a college campus. Um, so let's start there. Might as well open up since I'm starting late. My typical hours are midnight to 6 a.m. on the West Coast. I've been tired lately, so I just been sleeping. I was up a while back, but when I got up, Trey was still on, so I saw everybody was over there. I said, let me get a little bit more rest time. A little bit more rest time. And like I said to him earlier, this ain't easy. No matter what people say, this ain't easy. And that's a sports and conditioning coach, and he be falling asleep. So that there goes the sleep jokes. I wouldn't is almost a who I've never seen sleep is Angry Man or Risky or Izzy. But Platinum, Trey, and other people we don't know because they have up avatars. But yeah, it ain't all that super easy as people make it seem. But let's get into our show. We're gonna start here. We want to speed it up because we're really not trying to get no more strikes and stuff. Speed, voice boost, ambient, sleep, playback speed. Now I think you go backwards to speed it up. We shall see. Where's normal? That's normal. Okay. I want to speed it up. Okay. Speed it up some more. I don't hear any speed difference. What's happening? Okay, that's a little too fast. Push back on ideologies like we see today. Now, understand, this is the indoctrination I'll be talking about when we talk about these college campuses and the information that they're learning. She is saying that the way that he thinks is antiquated. Ask you about your stance on Israel and why you like to focus on things. I'm just saying this because we're trying to get the speed, sped up, but not crazy. shadow ban on social media, and censoring. Okay, up one peg and we'll be perfect. Even though that is a man, the question sounds like the way a woman would ask it. It's a lot of stuff to unpack. Talked about Israel, talked about the average man versus rich men, Trump, make America great again, to all come around to a question I'm sure it won't be understandable. Oh, wait a minute. What's wrong? I can't see the clip. Excuse me. Let's make sure we get this clip up here. We're going to have to rewind it. Okay.
Like the ones that we see today, like we're just spew rhetoric instead of like actually problem solve. A second ago, I believe it was a woman up here who asked you about your stance on it and why you choose to focus more on social issues instead of things like, and
so she said the conflict and what is his stance on it and why he chooses to avoid that and talk about social issues. I think that when you talk about that, when in these type of situations, that's kind of like censored. They don't want you talking about it. So he focuses, I'm sure, on things that is not that big a deal to be able to talk about, especially when I think this is like a reoccurring show that he's on.
yeah, of course. And your answer to that was something to the effect because like that's why you have been almost censored or maybe shadow banned on social media, which I do want to push back against a little bit because Candace Owens, which is someone that I have one of like the utmost respect for, she actually is, I guess, marketed as an anti-Semitic person, and she has like the world's top podcast. So I think it's definitely, she's a symbol that it's possible to advocate for something that you are actually passionate about that's going to change the world as opposed to like just create stronger issues. Which leads me right into my question. Your appeal to like your audience reminds me a lot of Trump's like populist approach. It was always the elite versus the people. The elite versus the people, that's too tall. The elite versus the people, like it's the people against the elite. When really in your case, it's like young American men against, I think a lot of American men, they were able to see, a lot of American men, including people like myself, trusted in Donald Trump, and they wanted to kind of see him like make America great again. When I first heard that stance, I thought, well, there's nothing really wrong with making America great again until I understood like what exactly that entailed. But to get to the fruit of my question, why should a lot of the American man here trust you when you embody the leadership role and the ideology that the person who let them down the most embodied?
So you embody the leadership role of Trump, and why should people trust you? Because Trump let them down. That's the question.
Okay, so to first address your thing about Israel and Candace Owens, etc., I think it's important to note that I've been talking about the problem with Israel and power in America way before October 7th.
Yeah.
After October 7th happened, then it became more acceptable to be able to criticize Zionism and Jewish power.
Yeah.
But I was doing it way before that, like it was okay. So that's why I got censored. I devote quite a bit of time to talking about.
So that proves it. He got censored for talking about it. What up, Lord ADS?
That because I have two different shows. I got Fresh Offend. I also do my debrief show, which is more political. Do them both like almost every day. Now, as far as like the populism that you're referring to, look, if you have a certain ideology and you're able to speak for the masses that can't speak, what ends up happening is a lot of people back you because the things that I say, a lot of men think or agree with or feel, but they can never say because they don't want to lose their job, lose access to certain resources or whatever. So I think the ideologies that I have are not necessarily the same as Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of them are similar when it comes to just like his own look on toxic masculinity, the anti-feminist movement. So when I say there you have similar ideologies, that's ideologies that I'm referring to. I guess like the answer that I'm still like missing in the question is,
So your issue with him is not that he's not speaking for those men. Your issue with him is about his anti-feminist movement. So why don't you just say that?
a lot of American men here, I'm sure they're like 18 through 22. By the time that they are age like 37 through 40, they are like wanting the American dream. That is maybe 2 cars, a four room home. They want a wife. Like, why should they trust in a person who does not embody anything that they want in their future? Like,
Because I teach them how to look at the world from an objective standpoint and not believe the lies that they're told. And I tell them, you got to make money, you got to get strong, you got to be competent, you got to have your stuff together, and then you choose if you want to have that family and be in a position where you're actually deciding what you want to do versus like being told what you need to do.
yeah.
So that's
But
why
my
I tell
concern
guys
is that young men aren't being told that they shouldn't be successful. Actually, in America now, they're being encouraged to be successful, and it's not because of rhetoric like yours, but just where we are in our time with like inflation, etc. Just where we are in our economy.
I would actually disagree with that, but that's fine. I mean, you might not watch my content, but like we actually dedicate quite a bit to teach you guys how to invest in real estate, how to do invest in indexes, cryptocurrency, all that other stuff. I have a whole show devoted to helping guys with that.
Okay. I guess the last thing that I want to say is I believe that we can exercise like our freedoms. I believe in the First Amendment, whether it's for me or against me. I disagree with almost everything you say. I agree with a lot of you say, like when it comes to the economy, but maybe like more social issues. I just think it's.
And that's it. When people talk like this, they're saying everything. You said you disagree with everything he says, but you do agree with when he talks about the economy. You either disagree with everything he says or there's certain things you disagree with. This is what I say when you hear me on somebody's panel saying that person just said everything, because they literally be saying everything. Nothing specific, everything.
But I think that we're able to exercise our freedoms without like ostracizing and exiling like from in group context. I also do want to say to the
I don't think you have the right to vote.
Okay. This also is not like when I hear you say that, I'm like, wait, what the hell does he mean by that? It's like I always hear these buzzwords like this person's a conspiracy theorist.
He means literally. He doesn't think that women should vote. What do you mean? What does he mean by that? He means literally that. He's saying that women talk like you talk. Emotional, non-specific, indecisive. They say everything is what he's saying. That's why he thinks they shouldn't be able to vote. There are other people that think if you're not a homeowner, you shouldn't be able to vote. They got a bunch of different reasons why they think people shouldn't vote. They're saying if you don't own a home, you don't make good decisions, so you shouldn't have access to voting. It's a lot of different perspectives people have about this whole voting thing. It may be elitist, but it is there.
Or this person is progressive. Like, what does the word progressive mean? It just means that someone who is able to like learn and move on from the 1800s. It's not the 1800s anymore. Like, we can vote, we can get jobs, or in group now. So like, we'll never be at another time.
What he's saying is that the pendulum swung too far the other way. There are men who are scared to work in office buildings because things that they think is normal and flirty or whatever else could be used against them to make them lose their jobs. And there are some women that feel that the patriarchy needs to be destroyed, and they don't care how they destroy it. I was listening last night to Trey's show, and Summer said that Stefan Diggs needed to get in trouble because he was playing with a woman's emotions. That is a problem. Men and women play with each other's emotions. You mean a man should lose millions of dollars or potentially go to jail because he was sleeping with somebody, then hired them as a chef, and because they were in their feelings, they falsely accuse him of something and then double charge him on things that he paid for and then said that he was taking money from them and DV'd them? That used to be, in my mind, white lady stuff. But a lot of those things that we used to think, oh yeah, that's not a black person, now is a black person. She tried to destroy that man because her feelings was hurt. And when you keep hearing that kind of stuff happening over and over again, that because a woman feels some kind of way, she wants to destroy somebody, that's concerning. So I heard people making fun of Shannon Sharp with the little young white lady. I heard people making fun of your boy what's his name? Partisan Fontaine. I heard him making fun of Tory Lanez. I heard all these people. Tory Lanez almost got stabbed to death. That case had holes all in it. But their point is he guilty, and we somehow bad men because we didn't see no clear-cut black and white case. If we don't see it certain people's way because they be in their feelings, then you must be some kind of monster. And last night, the reason why it was said that Stephen Diggs should have been locked up or lose millions of dollars because he didn't have dick discipline. Who does?
Or aren't able to prioritize education. And I don't think that a lot of men here, I mean, I don't know. I don't think a lot of men here don't want that for their, I think they want their women to be educated. I think they want their women to be able to contribute to society. That also goes against our Constitution.
Not really.
Like 19th Amendment, like that
We want women back in the kitchen, not being submissive, listening to what we say.
No man
like,
actually
no,
wants
like,
that.
you know, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, like, not to be an asshole, but like, guys don't typically want women that are going to embody masculine traits. We don't want that. We want a girl that's going to be a girl. Just like don't want a guy that acts like a girl. We don't want a girl that acts like a man.
So I think that's the problem. Like, why are we defining the ability to vote and the ability to have education as masculine? Like, that does not belong to masculinity. That belongs to like what it means to be intelligent. Like, a person wanting to get intelligent is not a woman who wants to like be masculine. Take an initiative to better like our minds are naturally communicative like entities. It wants to learn. It's literally a muscle. So like
the problem is this. Everything is being said. We're hearing women say that they want to be in their soft girl era. They want a man that can be a sole provider. Well, if you get out of the way in the workplace, men can get higher wages, especially if you don't want to work. So you're going to school to be competition. But there's a lot of men who say that, you know, when your shit is together, there's no woman that can be their competition. If they take up a bunch of space in the workforce, they are your competition. And if they're taking up space in the workforce because they want their own money and at the same time want you to be a sole provider, that's a double whammy. Then if you're in a relationship with a guy and you do have all this intelligence and you still want to be a stay-at-home mom, have a sole provider, why aren't you helping him and encouraging him to be in a better position? Even if you're the smarter one. When I listen to a lot of this stuff, it's that I'm smarter, nan nanny boo boo. I got more money, nan nanny boo boo. All that tradition stuff you're talking about was when those men were practicing stoicism and giving up all of their money. Here you go, baby. And just taking a couple dollars out for a smoke and some drink. How that person had another family on the other side of town, I don't know. Because the average person is not these rich people that they see. Mr. had property. His father had property in the color purple. That wasn't the average man. So this whole thing is Myron being extreme? Yes, to make you think. And he might be being completely honest. Still, you should think about it. Because it's about a lot of times what's being asked.
why should they go against their natural like
They can read in the kitchen.
order? That literally makes no sense. You just say these clip farming things and you like appeal to only 18-year-old boys. And in 20 years, these will not agree with you anymore. Like that's literally just
Actually, they'll agree even more so once they get into the real world.
I'm
They'll
sorry?
agree even more so. Because again, when I talk about women shouldn't have the right to vote, it's because they don't have to join the selective service, right? They don't have the same responsibilities as men, right? My issue is they have all the authority of men, even more so I would argue, with not the same level of responsibility. So I look at it like, if you're gonna go ahead and have all this responsibility, you should be able to have some authority alongside that. And also, vote puts in, let's just be very candid about this. If we have to rely on the one vote, Kamala Harris would be president right now. So, and she mentioned how, guys like me and Andrew Tate kept her from out of the election, so W for that, but from winning. But the vote is what puts in Democrats with their progressive ideologies that allow for more mass migration, for more handouts, for criminal cities, etc.
My question is, you just said, wait, is my mic
And
working?
the other, I don't know if your mic is on. And the other thing that's also important is that by nature, they're communitarian. So since they're communitarian, they don't have the same understanding of merit. Okay. And unfortunately, they apply this into the way that they vote and the way that they view things because yearn for security.
So yeah, I hear everything you're saying, but basically what you just said that rang as a red flag to me is you said it was like people like you who influence the voting in.
And that's it. When you're saying that you're against tradition and you're saying that a man don't have to be a man, a woman don't have to be a woman, that means that anything goes. That's laissez-faire. That's what he's fighting up against. Then when you say it's a red flag to you, the things that put us here in the first place, that's a red flag to anybody that understood what put us here in the first place. As we're going to look at this clip that Sin sent me and listen to this lady talk, and it's going to be red flag after red flag after red flag after red flag because it's very anti-family. I don't know how the LGBT community took over the feminist movement. So here you are dressed as a lady, and I don't know why I said she, talking about it's a red flag, any traditional thing. Him telling men to be what women say they want, which is a leader, a provider, self-confident, and all this other stuff, is a red flag. And then Trump let young people down because what? And I'm not a Trump defender, but most people say you shouldn't be expecting much from your president. You should be highly involved into your local politics and knowing who your alderman is, your mayor is, and all them people, and be a strong presence in politics and a strong presence everywhere. So it should be black police officer, black firemen, black store owners, black insurance men, black doctors, men and women, just black people, and all these different areas to kind of like watch our back. But we are so fragmented. A lot of us think we're not black, we OJ. We're not black, we Kanye. Money somehow takes your blackness away.
voting in Donald Trump into office, which like no one is actually happy about that. Like no one's happy about Donald Trump being in office. So like I think you
Better
should
than
look at your
Kamala.
own point.
Better than Kamala.
That doesn't mean anything. Better than Kamala. Like children in Gaza are dying. Like inflation is only rising. Like the gap.
And they were
between the whole
setting bombs
Marxist
to Gaza.
theory.
Remember, October 7th happened under who?
I'm sorry.
October 7th happened under who? Biden.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries.
So I think that we should have like learned this from the McCarthy era, like where we accuse our neighbors of like being communists and just like these monstrous crimes instead of holding our like government to holding our government accountable. Honestly, I think it's totally it's okay.
How was that person still there? I thought that was all you had and you left. And then trying to say that people not wanting their sons to be daughters, but if the son decided to be a daughter, I wouldn't cause harm to my son. I still love my son. I just wouldn't support it. I don't get the supporting of it. I mean, I see the extremes that people do. You gay and they kick them out the house, or you gay, they want to beat on them. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't support it or encourage it. I have family members that's a part of that community. I don't treat them differently. They still my family members, but I don't go to the gay parade with them. I'm not finna put on no damn onesie and put cherries on top of my head like I'm a cabana girl. I don't get it. It's just extreme that people want. I would never impose anything on anyone. And that's what it seems like. It's like y'all trying to impose your will on people. It's not McCarthyism. It's trying to keep tradition because that's how you continue life.
okay. It's your right as an American to believe in and to spread any ideology that you want. I think it's not up to us. At the end of the day, the facts are we are your target audience, not the other way around. So it's not our job to like change your mind as much as it's your job to change ours, which isn't working for a lot of high
Good morning, Genesis.
IQ individuals, apparently. But I
Actually, the majority of my audience are not college kids. Actually,
well, like I'm saying, when you go on your tours on college,
it's not my target audience.
your tours on college campuses, at least, is what I'm speaking to. Like the event that's going on today. But I specifically wanted to speak to like your understanding of using the in group and out of group and ascribed and achieved. Like obviously, no individual is ascribed intelligence. Like an individual is ascribed like race, siblings, etc. But as far as achievements, like intelligence is the act of having intelligence is an achievement in itself. So you being a man, you wasn't ascribed this platform. You worked for it.
The act of having intelligence is not about being a man. I don't think the act of having intelligence is gender based, but you want. See, like when I was younger, I don't know how I ran into these psych major women, but they're annoying because they're always trying to play psychological games with you and trying to, diminish you and whatever else because they're super smart, supposedly. Who cares? If your intelligence is to be used against your own people, who cares? All these different things is weaponized against your own people. Who cares about you? That's with anything. Whenever people do this thing where they want to be like other, go ahead and be other. But who cares? What's the red flag to you? Who cares? You're not inclusive. You're exclusive, talking about being included in what? Forcing your will on somebody that doesn't agree with almost nothing that you think. Just do you.
You went to school, you got it, so you achieved it. And many other women do that. Now, why aren't we able to do that? I think the facts are, we don't like to, especially people of like progressive ideology, we don't like to talk about it as much, but for so many years, we actually weren't given the same opportunities that men were given. So there was an inequality in between like in group, out of group, what they could
What's the argument?
A government.
What's the argument?
I'm saying that your argument is all based on it's not facts as much as it opinions based, and it's like still based in 1803 versus like we're in 2026 and actually do have the opportunity to have many of the opportunities and outperform you in the things that you do. Like Candace Owens, for example, like that's one of your peers and she outperforms you. So I think it's totally possible. Like this whole myth that men are born. you have nothing.
We make different content, significantly different content.
You guys talk about social issues. You talk about. You guys are in the same space.
That we are not.
You're in the same space.
We make significantly different content.
You guys were literally.
She has a different target. She has a different base than I do. We talk about completely different things.
Yeah. So because you attack 18-year-olds and she attacks.
Okay. What is your actual argument?
That was
Formulate your argument. What is your?
I gave you so many arguments. You didn't respond to any of them. I talked about ascribed and achieved. I talked about the difference between in group, out of group. I spoke about communists. I literally gave you 3 points and none you. You're just like none of which you like actually spoke on. The reason why you keep saying, "Oh wait, the red girl her talk," you talk
because she was heckling the whole time. So I was like, "What do you got to say?"
It's clip farming. Like you came to Ohio University.
It's not click farming. You're saying 1,000 things. What specifically do you want answered? That's more what he should be saying. What specifically do you want answered? Telling him about him versus Candace Owens as if they had the same audience. I don't understand what's the significance of that. And he did say something about the place where they're having combat right now. He said he was talking about it before October 7th. But let's see what he responds with.
To talk to a whole bunch of angry students, but we actually talk about shit that's real. So you want the angry people to come up here and like kind of yell at you and
no, because they walk. Here's the thing: they walk by and they heckle and say, "Well, what do you got to say?" And they can't say anything.
That's not the reason. That's not the reason at all. The reason is because like drama sells. This conversation.
Okay, let's go through this one by one. Let's go through this one by one. What am I wrong about?
I'm sorry. The in group, out of group, achieved, ascribe. You like intelligence isn't just like you weren't born. They're like, yeah, Myron Gaines. Like you are an intelligent human being. Like no, like you worked for it, and so many other people work for it as well.
Here's the thing: with men, we have to become successful. It's elective, okay? A woman can choose if she wants to be a career woman or a mom or be an entrepreneur or whatever. We don't have the same.
Men have the opportunity to do that now. Can now actually provide just as much to the household as men. So if you want to be a stay-at-home father,
that's the thing, though. That's not what people are choosing to do. And why would you suggest that? And who it is suggesting that? Who is suggesting that the man that they find be a stay-at-home dad and they'll just take care of everything? just the stigma alone of people that don't have nothing to do with your situation. And I don't think that that's encouraging to any man, because you're going to, at some point, there's going to be an argument and it's going to be, what the heck do you do? Even though they may be doing every single thing that needs to be done in a household. So, at some point, his man is going to be questioned. So who would sign up for that as a man?
You can do that.
That doesn't work. Here's the thing.
Yes,
That doesn't work.
That
It
doesn't
doesn't
work
work.
for you and your morality, but that can work for many other Americans.
Most women are not going to accept a stay-at-home dad. It's just not real.
Okay.
It's a minority.
But it's possible.
Significant. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it's probable. And this is like progressive talk. Oh, it's possible. It's possible. It doesn't mean that it's probable. More than likely, most are not going to accept a guy that wants to be a stay-at-home dad.
And I can say
Again,
the
you're
same-
making an
I
argument
can
for
honestly
a
say the
small
same about-
percentile. I'm
I can-
telling you
I can say the
how
same
things
about your
operate in
argument.
generalities, and then you're coming in and giving like exceptions.
I could say the same about your argument as it pertains to like you teach the college students that they have to become this certain man, and honestly, a lot of don't want the man that you want them to become, and it's clear because you're 40 years old with no family. Like it's everything that you have no family, you're not married. Like literally everything that these college boys will want, you don't have. Like you literally won't have. You literally won't have.
Now,
and I don't mean that as an insult. I truly don't. But I'm just like, in fact, in actuality, a lot of American men by the age of 40, they want a home, they want a dog, they want a marriage. You don't have any of that. So why should they trust you? Why should they listen to you? We made that same mistake with Trump, and you still never gave me that argument.
Okay, so I'll be honest. I don't know if you're a dude or a chick.
That does not matter.
But let's
Like,
assume
we
that
can
you're
still have
a chick, even though I don't think so. Right? Pick who they have sex with. Would that be fair to say?
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
Women select who they have sex with, right?
I
Like
believe all individuals select who they have sex with. Yeah.
Not really. We control who has sex because the men are the gatekeepers of
Wait,
sex.
so the man here, they're just not controlling who they
Okay,
have
we got a dude here, so he doesn't know this. Okay, so I'll explain this. Women are the gatekeepers to sex, okay? Men are the gatekeepers to relationships. Men don't every single guy that comes alongside, that comes in and says going to get laid. Just like I'm not going to marry every girl that comes by and says I want to get married. What you don't understand is
here. That's because of social action.
You should know this, actually.
You guys have been taught to do that since the 1700s, in the 1800s, and even the 19.
So heterosexual relationships is social engineering. You got to be a special person to have this kind of conversation. Heterosexual relationships is social engineering. It's not that a man wants a woman and a woman wants a man. It's that society has been telling you that you want a woman, and society has been saying that you want a man. Society is making you be heterosexual. If you were just left alone, it would be a free-for-all. We'd just be like Caligula. Ugh. And this is the first person. We're going to get to another person in a second.
Early 1900s, women were forced to be in the kitchen. They didn't have an opportunity to be in.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking
Do
about.
what they want to do.
Because you're trying to make an authority claim and saying like, well, you're not married, so you can't talk about this. I'm
No,
trying
I'm
to explain
not.
to
No,
you.
I'm not.
I'm trying to
really
explain
not.
to you
By
that
the
a
way,
man's
you're beautiful.
value, okay, a man's value is based on building a name, building a legacy. Then a woman gets the privilege of sharing that last name.
That's tradition.
Okay,
That's not
so that's how
actuality
it.
anymore.
That's how.
not what a lot of women
You
want.
stop interrupting.
That's
Like this is
tradition.
painful.
That's
And here's the thing. Myron was quiet while you were talking. Now he's answering the very thing you asked him to answer, and now you're talking all over him. That's just disrespect.
Can you stop interrupting? Like
It's
this is crazy.
tradition.
This
It's
is absolutely ridiculous.
tradition. I'm not
You're
gonna
just
make
yapping,
it
yapping,
yes.
yapping, and you're not like letting me
Because
respond.
I'm not. Everything that you have to say is like fallacy and ignorance. Like it's all tradition. We are in 2026. Like it is not what you were born into 40 years ago. Like this is literally 2026.
Yeah, like again,
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, which I typically hear when these type of people are talking, we're just antiquated fools. We're cavemen. Everything we talking about is just old, and your thing is pretty much when you just was talking about censoring and whatever else, you want him to be censored.
men select who gets married, select who gets sex. For you to sit there and say, well, you're not married, so you can't talk, that's absolutely ludicrous because we don't play by the same set of rules. The measurement of success for a man is not the same measurement of success for a woman. It's a woman's job to get married. It's a man's job to be successful and then marry who he wants. That's how it goes, okay?
I thought he was going to say more than that. I don't know, man. They just be all over the place like BS. What's going on, EJ 300K? We're gonna move forward though, y'all. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Let's get that up out of here. We're gonna move on forward to this. Let's see. That was the trans thing. Then it's this. I went and figured out the speed, so we wanted at 135. And we don't know if she ever was licensed. No, I don't think anyone is mad at Dr. Cheyenne Bryant because of how good she looks. And I don't know what you mean by how good she looks. She has a lot of makeup on. She looks like an older lady. I don't understand what you mean by how good she looks. I don't think anyone is mad by how good she looks. And I don't really think that anybody is really mad. When I listen to her, it's what she's saying. And I'm not mad at what she's saying, but what she's saying, I don't know that she's living up to that. A lot of the time when I'm listening to people, I'm listening to them and I'm like, is this person living up to this thing that they're talking to other people about? Okay, so patriarchal, social bubble, and black, right? But the conversation that's been coming out about her lately is that she is a part of the LGBT community. And she comes over here to Drama Farm. This is for her base of those people. So let me come over here to the men and talk crazy to these dudes. Get off on these dudes. Tell these dudes, like, do I need to come over here and check you because I got all these brothers? She says wild stuff. Because I think Charleston White said it best. The way you make it in these YouTube streets is you got to be controversial. You got to say crazy stuff. You're not going to be just an average everyday Joe having a conversation about what's going on and what you think the larger response is going to be to it. You have to be on here saying extreme things. You want to get as many viral clips as you can get out of your conversation. See somebody in the back. I think that's Ronald. Let me make sure.
Come on in.
Playing, it's always a treat when players leave.
I gotta pull up the clip and pull up this.
What up? What up? What up?
What's going on? Good morning.
Nothing. Good morning.
We are listening to people talk about heterosexual people and tradition being red flags. Yeah.
Yeah,
When
we're still trying to we're still trying to figure out what exactly is tradition, right? Because for a long time,
Heterosexuality, the white picket fence, the 2 children, the wife, the dog. That's so-called tradition. She this last individual that we just had up here that was arguing back and forth with Myron was saying that tradition is social engineering. That if we were left alone, we would be able to be laissez-faire and do whatever we want to do. That the nuclear family is indoctrination also. The baby boom was manufactured, all those things.
yeah.
That was a patriarchy making people do things. So the reason why the women was in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant is because that was social engineering.
Yeah, but you remember one of our conversations we had a couple of years ago is that back in the days there was still a lot of women who was out there working. So
Yeah,
the idea that
there's never been a time when women wasn't working,
yeah.
especially black
So
women.
yeah, and also like I said, I do have a problem with certain people, especially like one of our most famous podcasters and YouTubers is usually the single men who do all this preaching, and say they want you can't say that you want the woman in the kitchen when you're not gonna marry her. You understand what I'm saying? So if you just want to be a single man jumping from woman to woman, screwing them and then leaving, then it looks like a woman does need to have a job because she got nobody to take care of her.
Yeah, I would
You know?
encourage my daughter to work, just to be self-sufficient and independent. And then if you find a husband, so be it. But no, I wouldn't send my daughter out to just be somebody's wife.
She said wild stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna want to listen to these guys that are married. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes the people who are married do give wrong information also, but for the most part, a lot of times these guys just making up stuff in their head, and unfortunately, people like them. Sometimes they said misery loves company, right? So a lot of these people cleave to these people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. But for some reason, it just sounds good to them. And once again, is this system that this gender war where everybody pick a side? The men blame the women blame the men, when in actuality, is both people have to blame. And unfortunately, sometimes even they say, okay, who's to blame more? Me personally, the way I think about it is we're both links on a chain. So no matter whose side is more, if that chain breaks, or if one of them links break, we both screwed. So we gotta like look in the mirror and say, you know what, I gotta fix myself. And if you fix yourself, you'll be able to attract that certain woman also. But so I don't really listen to Myron Gaines and stuff like that. I don't listen to
Yeah,
I don't listen
Myron
to
is an
people.
extremist because he's trying to make money in social media. So he's an
Yeah.
extremist. So that's why he says stuff like, women shouldn't vote. But has anybody ever thought about that idea? What's going on too strong? And then who's doing more, I think does matter. Because when I think about just men in general, not all men, but men in general, men are always trying to fix things, including themselves.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that I think that the average man right now would want to love a woman or wants to be in a woman's presence. He really doesn't look at women and be like, I hate these bitches, I don't want these bitches around. I don't think they think like that, nor do they talk like that. So when we listen to exactly what the rhetoric is, you have to look at the number of men, and then you have to think about the men, because there is a alphabet community of men, right?
Yeah.
So men that got all this venom towards these women, even heterosexual. Because we had Funky Dineva talking about that black heterosexual men are the new white men, or the cancer of the community. Really, Funky Dineva? You threatened to put hands and feet on Tasha K before.
Yeah. Because they look at themselves.
And I'm always seeing a man from that community ready to knuckle up with a woman like that's not a
Yeah.
woman.
Because they look at themselves like they're a woman. So that's so like for example, like like Magic Johnson's son,
Yeah,
you know,
EJ.
yeah, he's 6 foot whatever. He look at himself as a woman and will knock the hell out of a real woman, because he think he a woman too. Like I said, man, there's a lot of sickness in the gay community.
But even when you stay right there, right? Even when you stay right there, the average man I know looks at love, even though we're supposed to be logical on a Disneyland level. They really think that it's going to be, like romantic. Now here comes Chalk. Good morning, Chalk. Men in general, Chalk, are violent. People in general are violent.
Yeah.
A woman can be violent also. When they have done these studies, Dr. Tia San Johnson had a conversation about DV and intersectionality. The thing that he found out when it came to DV is that women are smaller, so a lot of women don't think they can beat you up. But what they will do is create an environment of like what I call fucking with you, like you kind of do when you come around. I start off with good morning all the time you've been here. You come in hot every single time. Did he lie? Yeah, he's a fucking liar. There's a minority of men that don't give a damn about putting hands on women. And it's a smaller minority of that LGBT community that will stay on your ass. When a lot of times when I see dudes getting out of pocket with women, it's a bunch of these videos around, but I saw a woman that her brother was saying, sister, come on now, leave me alone. By the third time he said, leave me alone, she ran over and punched him in the face. When she punched him in the face, he grabbed her by her arms and a big old dude came over there and started beating him. Just a strange dude.
Yeah.
What I hear women say in this space all the time is that black men don't defend black women. Then how they get all them dudes in jail and all in the cemetery?
Yeah.
If he wasn't defending something.
They just had one where the boyfriend deleted her 2 brothers because they're trying to defend her.
That's old. And see, the problem with that was she told him to come over, but didn't tell him that he had a weapon. They ran into the front door, right? And he popped them as soon as they came into the front door. And then she was just outside screaming and yelling.
Yes, that's what I tell people, man. I'm like, yo, even though it's your sister, yo, call the police. Don't be trying to be no hero. If he's doing something to her, putting a harm to her, call the police. Let the police take care of that. Don't be trying to boss him up or whatever because you don't know what he got. Then you dead right now because your sister's making bad decisions. And most of the time, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And most of the time, these ladies know these guys' background. They know their criminal background. They know these guys put hands on women before, and they stay there and do this and let the same damn thing happen to them. So you got to know who you messing with. Because what you do is not only going to affect you, it also affects your family when you want to run to your brothers and father, whatever, to have them to defend you.
Well, the term flirting with disaster came from somewhere. They like danger. You called me a B for no reason the other day, just out the blue, violent just because. Words are violent. Words are violent. When I was younger, I used to go to Martin Luther King Library on the corner of 69th and East 14th. Now East 14th is called International. Right across the street from Martin Luther King Library is C.P. Bannon, a mortuary. When I looked and learned the Dewey Decimal System, I used to read this big, thick dictionary. In that big, thick dictionary, I found the word bitch. What the word bitch in the dictionary said was snooty, snobby, and sarcastic. You are snooty, snobby, and sarcastic. You look down your nose at me because you're always here to correct me. So I don't know how saying you're snooty, snobby, and sarcastic makes that violent. How is that violent? And it's because of women that talk like you that dudes feel that that is dangerous. That's a red flag. So you'll take a word that has a meaning and make it violent. That's crazy. What's going on, Submissive Susie? Let's see.
Come on in.
Playing, it's always a treat when players meet. Just
Good morning, Lord ADS.
What up, brother Nidus? What up, Ronald? Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up? What's up? Good morning.
Yeah, the things that you be pulling is stuff that like white women pull. In fact, I'm starting to see that out of a lot of sisters. Y'all doing that Medgar Evers type shit. He whistled at me. He abused me. Now you're saying that because I say you act snooty, snobby, and sarcastic, I was violent towards you? That's very dangerous. And I don't like that slick shit. I don't like that nice, nasty bullshit. That's how I got into it with Mo Love the other day. She liked to be nice, nasty. She always, I don't really talk about men, but the men, that's the worst motherfucker who straight up be lying like a motherfucker under the banner of religious. Well, I'm embedded. That's bullshit. I'd rather you call me a nigga. I'd rather fuck with a thug than a fake, nice, nasty motherfucker. Keep that nice, nasty shit for the lames. Yeah, let's get back to it. Well, watch her give all these justifications for this crazy stuff this woman, Cheyenne Bryan, be pulling. And yeah, Funky Dineva is a damn liar. Fuck sure.
In my opinion, are just like, they're deeply misogynistic. And so the problem is like, it's not even about.
Hold up, Nidus. Hold up,
Misogynistic mean they hate women.
Hold up, Nidus. Hold up. Who's listening to Funky Divina?
The women. These women do.
Okay.
These women listen to T.S. Madison and Funky Dineva and all these dudes. What's the Demons in Thought? They listen to all of that shit. And then come around you with that bullshit. Is he lying? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be listening to that motherfucker if he didn't go viral. I'm saying, yeah, he's a damn liar for fuck sure, yes. And dangerous too. Too. Because now that community could be almost looked at as like a woman, right? So like when, what's the other one name? What's that other one name that told academics he would beat him up and graping? Saucy Santana.
There you go. Yeah, Saucy Santana.
So if academics put hands and feet on Saucy Santana, that's a hate crime. So see what I'm saying? I done ran into it a couple of times. I remember one time I was at this restaurant called La Chris's, and you got to park on the side of the place because it's on San Pablo. So they got parking meters on the side. So I'm finna get out of the car in front of me. I left because it's real tight right there. So I said, I can get out of here easy. A white woman, a little bitty white woman, just got on the side of me, and I said, could you give me 1 minute so I can just drive off? And she just whatever and just jumped in and parked. So I had to wait till she finished parking. Then she got out of her car and then just stood on the side of my car and stared at me. Why the fuck are you staring at me? I had to sit here while you went through all that bullshit. They fuck with you. They are fucking with you. And Chalk wakes up every morning not to be nice, not to start the nice day off, to just fuck with somebody. And it's a bunch of motherfuckers like her. Like, I used to ignore Sugar Bum this whole 4 years. I didn't ever trip off of Reese this whole 4 years. But it's just been some shit recently. I'm like, what the fuck? Then this motherfucker Stanley said, we're going to make Chalk the queen of the damn shit. Okay, cool. Let's get rid. She has a wrench right now. The time for the wrench time is past. She has a wrench right now, and she's talking shit to me. All she does is talk shit to me. She is, what's the girl name? Is it Lucy that always tell Charlie Brown to kick the football? I think it's Lucy. Come on, Chuck, kick the football. And he kicks it and she picks it up out of the way and he falls on his head. I think that's the position she want to take. Let me just annoy the fuck out of this man while he's in the middle of his show and tell him how dumb he is and comparing the bomb cherry and do all this bullshit every single day. I mean, I don't care about it because I got real life going on out here, but I'm just looking at you. I'm just looking at you and you wild, but you would suggest that I'm effing with you. And that's just not the case. In fact, most of you people that come over here to be, I don't even think y'all fake mad. I think y'all really mad at me. Y'all really mad at me because you keep fucking with me and I'm going to hit your ass with both cannons and then you're going to be actually mad. Hey, brother, let's have a competition. Hey, brother, all fat job of the hood, brother. Okay, so we insulting each other. I can be disrespectful. It's pretty easy for me. Then when I'm being disrespectful, now you want a pity party. And then you write all this shit in the chat so some other women can come over here and say, yes, I'm going to support you against this 56-year-old man that ain't doing nothing but responding to your bullshit. You came over here the first time talking about, I know you just want to let loose on me. What? I'm starting to think you're a white lady, to be honest with you. I think you got that black face up there with them gold teeth, but you really a white woman because I can't see a sister acting like this. But I could be wrong. We're in 2026. This is modern time.
I think it has to do with heterosexuality personally. I think it has to do with the fact that these men are still very.
She has a problem with heterosexuality. So let's listen. She has a problem with patriarchy. She has a problem with Joe Budden and his whole cast being misogynist. And now she's talking about the problem is because they're heterosexuals. Let's listen.
Like stuck in very patriarchal constructs and capitalistic ones for that, you know.
And she got a problem with capitalism as she's trying to make money right now.
Recently, Mark Lamont went viral with Joe Budden arguing capitalism. So they're very capitalistic. They're very much about patriarchy. And then here comes Dr. Cheyenne with her very liberal, though somewhat traditional kind of perspective. And they push back on her a lot. You know, they go after the way she looks and her education and where she's from. And so I want us to talk about that today because the clips are going viral. I find it interesting. And I also kind of hope for her. The one thing I hope for Dr. Cheyenne when I watch her is to get out of this bubble, like out of the heterosexuality bubble personally. And
Get out of that heterosexuality bubble and come over here to our side. Do y'all hear this? And this is the way they talk all the time.
Yeah. Hey, Nidish, one of the things, it's funny how people forget how much of a pushback we give Umar Johnson, because for the longest time, people was like, did Umar Johnson really have a doctorate? You know, and people was looking into that, looking into whatever school he went to and all kind of stuff. You know, so we always give pushback to make sure people are really qualified because a lot of people lie.
People see the things they see the way they want to see them. They don't understand that everything is challenged, not just Dr. Cheyenne. Dr. Cheyenne popped up on Zoe Williams' show almost 20 years ago and got into that back and forth with Corey Holcomb. And folks have been watching her. Where she's saying she doesn't have a license now. They kept looking for a license. They never found one. This is public record when you have a license as a doctor, right? So now all of a sudden she doesn't have.
You would think it would be, right? You would think it just shows one thing to me, Nightish, that it's very. I think a lot of these women just need a big hug and a good fucking. I really do.
No, they don't. They don't want a good fucking.
No, because at the end of the day, this lunacy is just like now it's just starting to play out, right? Because
You think that woman is talking right now that's talking about misogyny and narcissism and patriarchy and capitalism just needs to get fucked and hugged?
Yeah. That's, to me, that's just bitter women resentment at the top, right? You know what I'm saying? So I can see them still fighting for power, you know, right? Trying to, even though it's really becoming more and more obvious that you know, whatever thing they had going on, it's a wrap. Shit, it might be a wrap for some of us too. You know what I'm saying? Or any of, you know what I'm saying? It could be a wrap for anybody nowadays. It's not. But ultimately though, what I would like to see them do is get out of that weird lifestyle, right? And become part of the general population again. Start, you know what I'm saying, dating and romance. Find yourself a man, right? She's a sweet girl. Why don't you find yourself a man? You know, something like that, right? Versus what we see now, which is Funky Diva now is out here yelling and screaming at straight men because at the end of the day, he's probably frustrated that his group is losing power at an expeditious rate. I mean, almost like every day. And you know what really kind of gets at me though? The first thing they do is lash out at the black man. I'm
isn't it the most easiest person to go after?
Yeah, the easiest target is the black man. Go after him. It's all his fault. He did this. He did that. It's this, that. Not talking about the damage that homosexuality has done to our communities. How our numbers are so low that we're. Put it this way: we're about to become the Native Americans in 50 years. No, blacks are about to become the Native Americans, the new Native Americans in 50 years. If we even get that status. So I mean,
aren't we helping it though?
I think we are. I think we're doing just fine. I think we're having, you know what I'm saying, meaningful conversations based on.
No. Aren't black people as a whole in general helping the numbers stay low for 40, 50 years, getting further and further away from each other? Aren't we helping that to be a reality? I don't see where we build an ecosystem. I don't see where we even support each other like that. We have conversations. I see like fraternities working with each other. So if you're a Q dog, your Qs will look out for you. I see the bourgeoisie probably looking out for each other. Nation of Islam, Hebrew Israelites, that kind of thing. But us in general, not so much.
The way I see it is that every community is propped up by families, right?
Right. And we don't have families. We have a minority.
Exactly. We have a bunch of individuals, you know what I'm saying, who believe that they're ultimately special and they've got this chosen path from the universe, which could all be true and all this other jazz, right? In reality, I think a lot of people are just wasting their lives. I mean, literally wasting life playing this bullshit. And unfortunately for us, a lot of the women who are deeply encroached in this kind of feminism, especially wave 4 and 5, I don't think they're going to wake up to their 45, 50 years old and they actually need a man, because at the end of the day, you know, whatever resources they have aren't holding out, right? And then from there, yeah, you'll see a more like a, you'll see a better woman, right? But that's like 20 years, 30 years for some of these women in the future, man. It's a waste.
I think that they don't care. What's going on, Romello? I don't think that they care. And a lot of them be in chat saying just because it's the cough happening, the demic, they don't care. Just because the economy is whatever else, they don't care. Just because however many jobs are lost, they don't care. They just going to be for B or whatever else and F these men. And the only man they like is a trick or a simp. or at least that's what they say.
Wasting time and wasting life is just going to leave you alone. There is a wall, especially for women when
Yeah,
they
they
get
don't
to
care
a
about
certain age. Yeah, they care about it. They just won't say it. You
We
know,
just-
they,
I
of course.
saw a clip of Angela Bassett dancing. I don't know what she was dancing to. What she? I don't know, but they were saying, "See, we don't hit no wall."
Angela
One
Bassett
woman.
also has a husband, but for some reason they never talk about him.
Yeah, they have a clip of Lisa Ray, Angela Bassett. Who all was it? It was Lisa Ray. It was Angela Bassett. It was the singer Maya, and all these like older people that they keep talking about. See, there ain't no wall. There ain't no wall. There ain't no you can be young and beautiful forever.
If
Yeah,
you-
which is but the wall has nothing to do with how attractive you are. But unfortunately, that's what they lock into. They see somebody attractive, they look at what they drive in, they see their bank account, and they say, okay, there's no wall. Where there actually is. Look what happening right now with what's her face? That rapper. How it's hard for her to like find a suitable man to be her husband. What's the face? Megan Thee Stallion. Right. And the reason why all these women, like when they get a boyfriend, they all lovey-dovey and post and stuff, is because for the most part, most of us want someone to get along with. Most of us want to be in some kind of super relationship. Even though their records, most of their records is more like like almost anti-men. They just be lying to people. And a lot of these older women in their 40s and 50s right now, they're just lying to the younger women.
You really believe that they're lying?
A lot of them lying, like, a lot of them lying when it comes to like stay by yourself, buy a rose. They want togethers. A lot of these chicks already got all their damn kids already, and want to tell women to stay away from men. You already got like 4 or 5 kids, 3 baby daddies.
Ronald,
And now you want to go preach to people?
Ronald, that right there, brother, has the ring of truth to it, man. I mean, it's always like it's the unsightlies, right? The unfuckables. You know what I'm saying? Doing the most talking when it comes to like what women should do and how they should behave and how they should handle men, especially black men.
How are they unfuckable when they got all them kids?
This is a woman in her 40s with 4 kids, bro.
Yeah,
they're still attractive though. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, men are still a lot of these women are very attractive, but they batshit crazy. So men are going to hang out with them for a few weeks or months, then they dip. Like I said, it's easy. It's if they want a boyfriend, it's easy for them to have a boyfriend. If they want if they want a lower tier man to be a husband to them, they can even get that. But is it going to last? So the reason why they pissed off, is the type of man that they want, the caliber of man that they want, do not want them, and that's why there's a wall. The man would rather date their daughter, that woman's daughter, who's like 25 or 30 years old, than that woman who's 40 in their 40s and 50s.
But how's that relationship gonna work when you in your 50s with the 25-year-old?
Yeah, but also when it comes to men, there shouldn't be that big old gender gap either. I mean, there should be that age gap. That's one thing I disagree with Kevin Samuels about. Me personally, I believe you should be at least between same age to 10, even 15, depending on your age and if you want to have children or not.
So this individual right here, because men are having a conversation, and this is supposedly the manosphere or the red pill space, comes to the manosphere or supposedly red pill space to say men are crying. It's where I'm at is 6:24 a.m. This is what I mean, lady. Early in the morning, you just want to talk shit to men early in the morning. Early in the morning. We are literally talking about a lesbian lady here and a trans man. But I guess you like that. That's perfectly fine.
The Cam Newtons and the Nick Cannons, they're just very, in my opinion, narcissistic. She told Cam Newton, you can't create multiple families and not have it be a problem. She told Nick Cannon, because he's diagnosed NPD. They talked about that diagnosis, you know? So she works with like very, you know, and then they're superstars on top of that. They're very, very famous. So now you're dealing with the celebrity brain. And it's just like, it's very interesting to me. But I would love to see her thrive in a feminist bubble. I would love to see her thrive with women. I would love to see her thrive in like a different context. But the reason I think she does well with the men is she's very good at not losing her cool with them, because God, they try. They test my patience, and she handles it so much better than I ever could. So like, you know what I mean? These men. Anyways, if for some reason we get copyrighted,
These men. So Joe Budden podcast is full of dudes talking. You have Don't Call Me White Girl on there, Demona. She don't got no problem with them dudes, but you got a problem with Joe Budden, who's been, you know, accused of jumping on women and jumped on some women. Why are you watching it? It's like they like Chalk. Chalk don't mess with me. Chalk don't mess with Lord ADS, but she be here routinely.
I need
She
to
tried to say
validate
to me the other day, I ain't been there in so long. I wouldn't know.
We need to validate some things with Chalk. Let's start with that. And let's call it out. These women are obsessed with us. They talk about us being obsessed. No, they are just as much as obsessed with us as we are with them, man. And then they know it. They know it. They pretend like they don't like us. They don't want to be around us. They hate us. But yet they know our talking points better than we do. They studied us more than we have. They in our spaces more than a lot of us is. Bruh, I wish they would just stop the cap and keep it real. They're looking for, man, yo, there's plenty of men available, and we can make this easy, right? Or we can keep playing these gender wars in which I guess you got some level of leverage. You believe you do, but ultimately ends up that.
One second, don't forget your thought. 1 second.
Come on in.
Grand rising queen, shine like you mean. Forever may you gleam. You are everything.
Good morning, TMKC.
Good morning, Nightish. And guys, hi guys up there.
Good morning, TMK.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. What y'all doing or talking about?
We're talking about trans men and homosexual women.
Oh, okay. I'll be listening.
Let's get back to her.
midstream. I have clips I can show you from TikTok, but let's start with this. So this is a 3-hour conversation. I just timestamped the parts that I think are the most important. So let's go ahead and watch the beginning.
Okay, so I'm going to skip past the Joe Budden part because he's definitely going to strike you, which he actually struck her. And then she went over to the TikTok clips. I'm going to skip past the TikTok clips because it's more a focus on this lady here that's talking about this. So this lady says she's been diagnosed with something. She got crazy eyes. And this is her takes on what's being said versus Cheyenne Bryan is up there just talking shit.
I know. Okay, so obviously this was very controversial. This was the first controversy. This is very controversial for a lot of reasons. I do think it's a red flag. I can see where she's coming from, but I do question the ethics of this. Obviously, now she is not to be held accountable by a board. She could be causing a lot of danger to her clients. We do not know. She is not licensed, or she is not now practicing with a license, i.e. the board is keeping track. So I do question a lot of this, but don't take my word for it. Let's listen to a medical professional talk about it. This is Raquel Martin, PhD, and she takes issue with this. She's also a Black woman, so I wanted to use her as well. And I would just say this. I will say one thing that she said that was really important is that my therapist diagnosed me with borderline day one so she could bill my insurance. That's why I say I don't really believe in some of these diagnoses if they're made to bill insurance. I'm not saying I'm not borderline, but I'm saying I'm only borderline because she had to bill my insurance.
See the crazy eyes? She's not saying that she's not borderline. She's saying she's borderline because they had to bill her insurance. So she's not really crazy. They just diagnosed her as being crazy. Are y'all?
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
No, it don't. I wouldn't just accept a diagnosis because that should stay on your record. If somebody was to hospitalize her for something, they're gonna treat her for that borderline shit. So if ain't nothing wrong with her, she shouldn't be accepting that.
Some people, oh, good morning, Joy is real. Some people accept it so when they go do something crazy, they can go, oh, I'm crazy. And that sits you in a little psych ward for a couple weeks and probably let you right back out to do some more crazy shit.
Well, if you have anxiety and depression, you don't want to be treated for borderline personality disorder because don't they put you on psychotropic medication? I'm not trying to end up in any shit to me, huh?
Some people like psychotropic drugs.
Okay, when it fuck your brain and your thinking process up and you start thinking slow and be drooling every time you
Well, there's some people that's like that. I know some folks
that's really not
or whatever. I saw to my young cousin one time. He asked me, did I have some ibuprofen? I said, yeah, some in the glove compartment. He got to the ibuprofen and dumped a fistful of them in his hand and just took them all. I'm like, oh, he ain't got no pain. This motherfucker.
Yeah, that's drugs. Like I had a cousin who would go over my auntie's house and steal all of her medicine. So yeah, I know what that's like.
So that's where we are today. Just go raid grandma's medicine cabinet and take some Narcos, take some Advils, take some Tylenol 800s, and just I don't even know what does that do to you. But I'm not an addict like that. So.
I had some Tylenol 3 with codeine in it. I had some oxyhydro, whatever that medicine they give you when they remove your tooth in your mouth, and something else. And I know that one is an opioid, and all of them got stolen when I was pregnant with my daughter. I don't even know when they got taken because I was scared to take them. So when I went back to see if they were there for some reason, I think I might have had a headache or something. The shit was gone.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cheyenne Bryant. Her eyes look real sunken. She look overly, she got that cake makeup. And this woman jumped out talking about the reason why I have a problem with her is because she's so beautiful. Huh?
So, she's a lesbian?
Well, yeah, they hooked her up with some WNBA player. I think her name is Ty or something. But then again, what can you believe in these social media streets?
But remember, she's in Hollywood, man. So all these people kind of crazy and swing both ways and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't be listening to folks like that, especially if they come from West Coast, anything like that, because it'd be insane, man. Their heads be like on backwards sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know where she from though. I started really talking about her way back when Corey Holcomb said she didn't have a book that was a pamphlet, a book of tweets. Until she popped back up recent time.
Hey, do you remember? I don't know if you ever saw that live. I think Ray J went live one time and was trying to go to Cheyenne Bryant to get some counseling or whatever like that, or some kind of therapy. So if she's not qualified to do all this stuff and she's just like a life coach, that is very dangerous. That these celebrities are throwing thousands of dollars her way, to try to get help, and she's not really qualified. She just taking money.
And that's where, it's hard out here. It is hard out here.
That's the only way that one session, you clocked me in 45 minutes as borderline. Now, it didn't matter to me because I still did DBT and it saved my life. So I also don't care. But also the stigma of being socialized or the stigma of borderline is the problem is, you know what I'm saying? So I think we should keep that all in mind. Okay, here's the stitch. So they're going to play a little bit of the original clip and then a stitch.
A license. Right now I'm in private practice. I'm saying.
Yeah, she's saying she don't have a license, but I'm not messing around with Joe Button.
So who got the crazy?
What the doctor is actually.
What?
Who has crazy eyes?
The lady is doing this reaction.
Oh, I didn't see it.
You're looking at her, that white woman right there with the white microphone.
I think her therapist was right about her.
I didn't see crazy eyes, but okay.
You don't. I'm looking at them now.
They don't look crazy to me. They look normal.
And whether they hold a relevant clinical license. In this case, the person you're about to hear from is unlicensed. I'm going to break down why that matters and why this particular message is.
She has an oral fixation and her eyes are jetting left to right.
Well, she's looking at something.
We're looking at it too. It's right in front. Why would your eyes be jetting? She's not typing.
Because she's looking at a video, maybe. You don't know what she's looking at.
We're looking at the same video. We're looking at what she's reacting to.
She's looking to the
especially to the Black community that she claims to be serving and that I actually serve.
I would probably say, based off of my assumption, that Cheyenne is supplying celebrity people with therapy or help coaching. And I have a feeling that Dr. Raquel is serving her local community. So I have a feeling this is why I do take an issue with Cheyenne's.
So right now, why is her eyes jetting left and right, TMKC?
Because she's looking around. I mean, I can see if she was standing in front of you and didn't have nothing to look at. But she has a computer screen. We don't know how many screens.
Looking like the camera I'm looking at.
But we don't know how many screens she's looking at.
I'm looking at 3 different people, but I don't need to go like this.
Well, I know that I noticed when I was live and on camera talking to you, my eyes may have probably been crazy because I was looking at shit on my screen. Because, like, I know, because I looked at the video and there was a couple of times that my eyes probably got bigger, but it was because I was looking at shit on my screen. So, and I looked at the video and the video does look like I'm bucking my eyes, and I'm not. I'm looking at shit on my screen.
Crazy eyes aren't necessarily bucking. Bucking eyes is Dauphin stuff. I'm not talking about bug eyes.
But I'm not a Dauphin. I was just looking up, looking down, because I have 2 screens.
Not talking about you. Not talking about you.
I know. I'm just comparing what I was doing to what she's doing.
I mean, different strokes with different folks, but I know crazy eyes when I see them. I know a lot of crazy people.
Oh, okay.
Brand is that it might be a sensationalized capitalistic brand rather than a holistic. Even though Cheyenne has said a lot of really good things, I just think that I'm getting more capitalistic focused rather than community focused.
A license is really only needed so you can bill insurance.
That is incredibly misleading. Yes, you do need a license to bill insurance, but that is not why licensure exists. Licensure protects you. It means I have completed specific education and supervised clinical hours, passed rigorous exams, and I'm accountable to a regulatory board.
Exactly.
If I breach confidentiality, if I cross ethical boundaries or harm you, you have somewhere to file a complaint and be sure that I'm held accountable.
Exactly.
A license is not paperwork just for billing. It's a consumer protection. When someone drops or loses or no longer has a license, they're not solely avoiding the insurance hassle. They're also removing your recourse if something goes terribly wrong.
Not binded by BBS.
Now, I understand, and I just want to come in here. I do understand that there is a hope within some communities to go around legal institutions in order to help community members in ways that the institutions won't help, right? So I also think there's that part of it where like some people don't want to help. I remember I talked to this Black woman who was an activist, and she wanted a dream community where maybe if your neighbor's a doctor, they can come treat you when you're at your house without you having to go through insurance and doctors. And I think that could be beautiful, except to say the doctor would also have to have trust in the community not to report them. And also the doctor would have to be so ethical that we would never have to report them. So again, the reason some of these boards exist, the reason we started to implement these rules is so people don't take advantage of people, right? And so there's these, there's this thing. And then Chad says, I doubt she's charging less for said clients though. Well, Cheyenne literally said, I'm charging more, right? So Dr. Cheyenne said she's specifically making more money. So that's the thing. I bet she's charging like $1,000 an hour to celebrity clients like Nick Cannon. So that's what I think is what I have a theory about is I have a theory that she's appealing to a celebrity audience. Like I highly doubt she is working for somebody who can only afford $45.
Are y'all looking at the camera? What up, Deacon Dave?
Well, that lady is right about that. Yeah, she is charging more for celebrities. Like, I don't know if she did with Nick Cannon, but I know she did with what's his face, Ray J. And you see, he ain't getting well. He's still Chris.
Hey, Nightish, how come every time I write in a chat, it doesn't show? It just disappears.
Are you on the vertical or the horizontal side?
I'm on the regular side, whatever that one is.
Okay. Give me one
And
second.
I typed it while on this live, and it's still not showing up.
Have you typed something recently?
Yeah, I typed it 3 times, and all 3 times it disappeared.
Let me look in the back and see if somebody blocked you. Let me see. Back to studio. Let me see. There we go. Community. Let me see yours. Let me see. Basic. I don't see no block. But that seemed like somebody would be blocked that couldn't see they whatever. Where's the wrenches? Okay, let's see. Maurice Joy Rapid. No, you're not blocked. You're right there. TMKC. Yeah, I don't know. Let me take you out and bring you back in. Let me see. There go TMKC right there. Bring you back in. TM. Okay. See. Oops. I'm about to re-wrench people. I hate when I do that shit right there. I don't know who I just took out. Try to write something now. Okay, I see you now. So now I can re-wrench you. Oh yeah, your wrench is still there. That's interesting. Anyway, we'll just redo it. There we go. So we should be able to see you now. Yeah, but can y'all see this lady face? She keep jetting left and right and touching her face and touching her mouth.
An hour, but maybe she is. Maybe she is.
That's the behavior board.
Yeah, we skipping past all the Joe Budden talk.
We know that systems of oppression play into these dynamics, and in some ways, Dr. Cheyenne could be, maybe in my good faith brain, wants to believe she's like tackling white supremacy because of this, but I doubt it. So then the issue is, if neither group is worried about tackling white supremacist rules about licensing, then the only negative implication is that Dr. Cheyenne is taking advantage of people, which I would hope isn't true.
When they're not in place. So celebrating that you don't have to be accountable to that should be concerning to you.
Yeah.
As a therapist, 2 things you can obviously make with.
We're not messing with Joe Budden because he already flagged her for the earlier stuff.
With goals and accountability, therapists are trained to diagnose and treat mental health conditions, trauma and depression and suicidality. And
which is like why I say therapy is mental health. Coaching is more like philosophy stuff, like, lifestyle stuff. Therapy is think your brain.
Psychosis. If someone with untreated bipolar disorder or PTSD thinks they're getting therapy from a coach, they're going to be seriously harmed. These are actual conditions that go undiagnosed and untreated, especially within the Black community.
My clients, the truth is that in order to build.
Nope, we're not messing with Joe Budden.
Doctor and all of my healthcare, because it was cheaper than getting healthcare in Arizona. It was literally cheaper for me to pay out of pocket to my doctor because hospitals, when they found out I was paying out of pocket with no insurance, would give me a sliding scale, versus if I had insurance, it was different. Plus insurance was $800 a month. And I was like, I'm not paying that. You know what I mean? So I understand this as well.
afford healthcare.
So Cheyenne Bryan went and learned something to try to justify practicing without a license.
Relations ethics.
And I want to be honest about what's really happening here because the messaging is awful to me. The pitch to potential clients is I can give you more personalized care. The pitch to herself is I make significantly more money and I'm not bound by any kind of oversight. And those are two entirely different things. And when your financial incentive is disconnected from professional accountability, that is a conflict of interest. However, she is not bound by anything when it comes to conflicts of interest because the only thing that she is bound by is the limits of her own ethics and morality. Look, coaching has real value. And y'all know I be hold real coaches down. If you want goal accountability, a coach can help, but coaching is not therapy, and no coach worth their salt will say anything other. If you're dealing with mental health, like anxiety and depression and trauma and these other things, you deserve a licensed mental health professional whose conduct is subject to oversight. And I know it sounds like gatekeeping, but it's truly basic safety. And it's important in communities where access has been denied historically. The answer has never been fewer protections for us as Black people. It has always been more access to regulated, accountable care because we deserve that. And I also want to address that it took me some time to think about doing this video because as a Black woman, it's just been really, really tough for us as Black women. And as someone who states that they advocate for the Black community, he, she, and they creates programs for the Black community, is the founder of the largest mental health and education community.
So there we go. As an advocate for the Black community, he, she, they. Look at y'all. We got a bunch of people on mute.
Okay, what's the question, Nina?
You want us to talk?
What do you mean? What is the question? The question is this: the influence of. So that was a trans talking first. Now this is, I guess, a lesbian woman or whatever community she's a part of, talking about what a Black woman without a license is doing and her perspective on it. The other Black woman who's saying she's just looking out for Black people in general, even if they're from that community. I understand. What does this lady that's interviewing this, what is her, like, what she got to do with it? She started off the conversation talking about she's anti-patriarchy, anti-heterosexuality, anti-capitalism. So why does she care about anything?
Because if it wasn't for heterosexuality, she wouldn't be here. So she already eliminated herself. So I wouldn't even be listening to her no more.
Yeah, I heard what you said about her playing it off of TikTok. I'm not finna mess with it though. And I don't even get that if Joe Budden gives people strikes and you play a clip off of TikTok that's still a Joe Budden clip, I don't know how that works.
Well, you still will get struck. If you're over here playing it from wherever, and he strikes it, you're going to be still held accountable.
I'm responding that the white woman said that because she's looking at Joe Budden on TikTok, there won't get nothing to happen. But she also was playing Joe Budden directly, talking about she's probably going to get hit, and she got hit.
Yeah, so don't do it.
And then when you're part of that community and you're saying that you don't really care much for what she said, these dudes was misogynistic, heterosexual, capitalist. So, and now she's suggesting that Cheyenne Bryan may be scamming folks because she's practicing without a license.
Mm-hmm. So she's trying to put the awareness out there to get Cheyenne Bryan held accountable because that's the reason for her video.
To inform us Black people.
The same way the white woman wrote the article and got Cynthia G's channels canceled, she doing the same shit. This is the same shit. She just making a video.
Yeah, we want people to talk, Ronald. Because when I listen to the women, they just say everything, and I'm confused. A woman is basically saying, Because why does she have to keep saying black woman? We can see Cheyenne Bryant. And even this other doctor that's talking, why does she have to keep saying this black woman? We can see that she black.
She's telling you that black women don't follow the rules. So cancel that bitch because she looks better than I do. You know how women be hating for no reason. Like why?
No, she said the reason why Joe Budden and them had a problem with Cheyenne Bryant is because she looks so good. And I'm like, what do she mean by look so good?
She's hating Nighttish. She's hating. She's being a whistleblower to get the black woman canceled.
I don't know. It's all sad.
I know if you disagree with somebody, is either you hating or they'll find some other word, you know. Are you a homophobic? You're whatever. You're transphobic. You're whatever word you want to throw in there. You'll always find a word when you just really disagree with somebody.
She said she would prefer that Cheyenne Bryant leave the patriarchal, misogynistic side and come over to the feminist side. She'd be better there.
She is whistleblowing, sin. Because what else would be the reason for the video? You said everybody knows. She's trying to bring more awareness to it so somebody will actually do something.
And I think people have been talking about this whole subject of is Cheyenne Bryant a real doctor for some time. The first time it was talked about was Corey Holcomb was talking about it, that she ain't no real doctor. Then after Corey said something about it, House of Hypocrites says something about it. But everybody's talking about it. I pay pretty close attention to a few of these people in the space. I haven't heard nobody really talking about Cheyenne. I think Lucky talked about it recently, but other than that, I don't see nobody talking about Cheyenne Bryant.
I don't either.
Or maybe I'm tripping.
I don't see it. When she went on that that other Corey's channel and did all that stuff, that's the only time I was really hearing about her. And after that, I haven't heard anything till right now.
Yeah, for sure, Ronald. When people come up here, that's the purpose. It's to have talk about, you know, the thing that we're looking at. My thing is that if they're willing to go along with the whatever you want to call it, a life coach or whatever it is, they like controversial stuff. I saw her on whatever that thing is that Ace Metaphor got. Is it 8 at the table? No, it's Tonight's Conversations. I saw her on Tonight's Conversation. She making the rounds and everybody letting her in. To me, she no more different than Charleston White. I mean, but if you ask me, she say wild stuff that's going to potentially go viral. Especially when she was on Tonight's Conversations. But it's odd that we're all looking at the same clip and nobody know what I'm talking about and everybody's just silent.
No. You
For
good,
black women
Nighters.
in the country.
What?
You good, Nighters. I mean, it's obvious to me, you know what I'm saying? I think two things can be true. I think TMKC is absolutely right with this woman trying to call out the behavior to see if she can get something done about it. You know, right? This is her little effort towards that. But I also believe this woman is completely batshit insane as well, right? You can be, people don't understand.
No. I think that crazy people can be smart.
Oh, yeah. Some of the brightest
Like a
minds that
savant.
you know. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, crazy as batshit, but smart as hell. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there like that who have like chemical imbalances and brain shit going on, but when it comes to knowledge, they are full of like knowledge, right? They know shit.
Yeah.
But like if you try to like, how do I say this? If you're around them more than 15, 20 minutes though personally, you gotta run for the hills because she batshit crazy. You know, right?
Yeah.
She one of them type.
Totally understand where we're at when I'm holding my programs and things of that nature. But I do want you to know that I always state that my Black love is also accountability. And being Black does not mean that when I'm dealing with other Black people, I'm pro-Blackness no matter what you do. That's just never going to be the case. So I don't want you to, I don't want to hear anything about like, oh, this is an attack on a Black woman. It's not solely, it was the aspect of supporting Black people was never about supporting just Black people no matter what they do. It's supporting Black people in love and also having accountability. And these messages are wrong, and they have been wrong, and they have consistently been wrong. And and as someone who has the size of a platform that I have, I think it's important for me to share psychoeducation and information because I understand the significance of it. And I understand the significance of it because I'm actually working in this field. This is a really harmful message. And I do understand that there's this aspect of like things are entertainment, but these things are harming us. And I know they harm us because I'm actually working in the field.
Yeah, there must be frustration with the fact that Cheyenne's out of the field. So Dr. Cheyenne isn't in there. She's not working she's doing her own entrepreneurial, capitalistic coaching thing, right? So she's no longer working with the medical field, getting educated, working with peers, working in academia. She's now working in entertainment with celebrities. And it's very like Dr. Phil of it. Like Dr. Phil gave up his license so he could do his show because you guys can't hold a license and do a show like that. Same with financial advisors. You know, Dave Ramsey can't have a license and work on a finance show. There are rules. You guys can't have shows like this. You have to give up your license because certain entertainment shows, they bypass the ethics of what you could do as a therapist. That's why Jordan Peterson got his license threatened because he was, as an active licensed therapist, doing things unethical on his shows. So like that's why there's a board and there's, you know what I mean?
Like I believe that she knows what she's talking about, but look at all them people she just threw up under the bus. Dave Ramsey, Dr. Phil,
Jordan Peterson.
So now it's going to be unethical. So with Cheyenne Bryan, she's saying, should you listen to her? Because she's really not that, because she's really not in the field. She's more so like a lifestyle coach. So now that Ramsey and Peterson and whoever else lost their licenses, does that mean we shouldn't listen to them? I did not know that, Sin, that Dave Ramsey is not licensed and Dr. Phil's not licensed, and because they given, well, as she said, it's unethical for them to get that information. But when you're not licensed no more, what are the things that keep you abreast of new information and for you to be able to tell somebody, don't get this loan, pay this off this way, and all this other information that you have Dave Ramsey given? I don't really listen to Dr. Phil at all, though.
Well, there's a difference between being not licensed and not updating your license. Like people like Dr. Phil, like when he crossed over into like TV and stuff like that, he doesn't need his license anymore. Like for example, like let's say he's from Minnesota, he'll need his license most likely is licensed to work in Minnesota alone. And if he decides to go to like Texas, then you have to get a license to work in Texas.
Right.
So
but
if
he can't give you therapy then.
Say again?
Well, then he can't give you therapy then.
But he's like I said, so when he's doing his TV show now, then he's like, they put in more entertainment than to like, than real therapy.
So then he's not a doctor anymore. He's a lifestyle coach.
Yeah, but he's still since he still had that doctorate, he can still call himself a doctor. But he's not practicing. He's not practicing anymore. He has a TV show, and he's making more money on doing that TV.
I'm not talking about him being able to call himself
I got
a
me
doctor.
in a minute and a half, brother. Thank you for having me up.
Salute.
All right.
I'm not talking about whether he can call himself a doctor anymore. I'm saying that I believe when you have licenses, you have to, stay up to date with whatever information is new when it comes to therapy.
Yeah.
If you don't have a license anymore, are you still doing that? Because if you
Oh.
lost your license because the things that you're doing goes against the license, or you let the license go because you make more money being an entertainer, do you
Yeah.
continue to give people therapy?
Yeah. Say that last part again.
When you don't have a license when you're no longer a licensed therapist, is the information you're giving people now more like a lifestyle coach versus a actual doctor?
You could be right in that situation, but like I said,
Well, that's
he
what the
still,
woman
I mean,
is arguing.
yeah, but like I said, they don't. It's almost like, for example, the lead attorney, right? The lead attorney or some of these other attorneys that's on YouTube, right? They always tell people this is not like professional information, whatever. Please please get an attorney. They know, it's like a lot of them, they know what they're talking about, but because they do it on YouTube, they don't want to be
I understand that they make more money here, but here's the thing,
Yeah.
right? What kind of attorney are you? So if you giving information about legal attorney stuff and you're a damn corporate attorney, what do you know about criminal law?
Yeah. That's why they says that's why they always say all these lawyers on YouTube, they always say this is not legal advice. You're right. So even though they're giving advice, they don't want anybody try to sue them, right? Or because like I said, they a lot of times they give up their license or their license expired. Because a lot of times if you're not going into the courtroom, or if you're a doctor, if you're not going into the hospital, if you're not performing these certain surgeries, then you're gonna lose your license to do these things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen to this lady right here with the glasses on.
I am a doctor who creates content, but I do want to state that when I say the titles in the beginning of my video, I'm actively doing that work. I'm actively conducting research on Black identity development and mental health and well-being of the Black community. I am actively practicing as a licensed clinical psychologist and see patients weekly and have been seeing patients for over a decade. I am actively a professor and working with youth. I'm actively a health educator when it comes to training clinicians in cultural humility so that they can serve us better. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of individuals will say it's not that deep or say that it's just entertainment is because, one, you think mental health in psychology is just folk wisdom, and it's not, it's a science. And two, you guys are very insulated from the field that you claim to be discussing because you don't work in that field and you haven't in quite some time. But as someone who walks into the offices and sees the clients and goes to the talks and does the community programs, we are struggling. And these little entertainment only pieces that are spreading misinformation, you're doing more harm for the Black community than you know. And the reason why you don't know is because you're so insulated from the Black community. You just sit in front of these mics and you make all these money and you do all these Patrons and you wear these crazy hats and you do all that. But I would actually say I don't see these kind of places as pro-Black. I don't. And the only way you would know that is if you did the work that I do. And you're never going to, because one, you're not qualified. And two, it would break you down. It would break you down every single day. I never heard so many people saying licenses and degrees didn't matter until more Black people started getting licenses and degrees.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna let her take that. Dr. Raquel, I'll share her TikTok down below. I will just say that I do think there's such an important difference between people really studying and caring about a community and people who are entertainers. And it's why I separate my entertainers from my educators. Dr. Raquel, educator. Dr. Cheyenne, at this point, entertainer. And that's okay. And there are questions I have about the capitalism of it all. Okay, so now, let me.
So what you're saying is that she's an entertainer and she's there for the money. She's not there to help people.
I mean, well, the licensed therapists and the licensed doctors, they're also there for the money also. They want to help people and also they want to get paid.
I don't think so. And that's not what that woman just said. She says she's there because her community needs her. And that the Black people are neglected and not respected when it comes to these things.
Yeah, but she still want to get paid because, a lot of these people, I mean, of course, they go to college.
It's two different things, though. Wouldn't you agree?
Say again?
She should get paid because she's actually doing a job, but getting paid and giving a fuck are two different things, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it can be both. You know, you love what you, and that's just a beautiful thing. It's great to love what you do and also get paid for it.
No. That's a separate discussion. The discussion is, so you're talking about loving what you're doing and getting paid for it. That's not the discussion. The discussion is a woman gave up her license because she can make more money doing it the way she's doing it, which is through social media.
Yeah.
That's one person. The other person is doing it because her community is neglected.
Okay.
Them two different things.
Hmm.
If you a black man and you do construction and you got a business, a however many staff, and you decide you want to hire as many black people as possible, that's you caring about your community. You just want to, get cheap labor. That's you caring about the bottom line. Them two different things.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that when it comes to these names, she said like Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, Jordan Peterson, or whoever she said, they want the money more.
Yeah.
And she's saying she don't know if they up to date because they've been out of the field so long. She's actively in the field and working because she don't want to leave the responsibility of her community being in the hands of other people. Or at least that's what she said just now.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that difficult to be up to date. And I think for the most part, there's a lot of things that's not really going to change. For the most part, a lot of stuff that you got taught, especially like Jordan Peterson and people like that. I mean, they've been professors for a very long time. So if for the last 10 years they've been out, it's not like there's so much stuff that was changed. And of course, these people also has friends that's still in there. They still have access to the new stuff that's being updated and stuff like that. So I think, but also if they're saying anything wrong, there's always somebody that can jump on and challenge them. There are still people who are practicing, who might even have a YouTube channel on the side, or we all have access to going live when we want to. So, there'll always be somebody to be able to challenge them.
Well, this is what's happening right now with this woman. She's challenging her.
Show you this because I got copyrighted by Joe Budden. We might try to go back and try to see some of it, but also let me do it this way.
No, I don't want you to keep forward there. You go back to the Joe Budden stuff. I don't want you to keep flirting. Well, she right back to it.
He thinks like he's like a good dude, right? So look at this.
I was anything. With anything. We can come out and run a risk assessment. That's not.
No, we're not going to keep flirting with Joe Budden. And it seemed like that's what she's going to do for the rest of this time. And you already played this, so now you're going back and forth to it? Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up right there because all I'm seeing is the same clip being played over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then we got Sin7Sin in the chat talking about, well, she said that's why she started playing the TikTok. I don't care what she said. I already got a second strike on the other channel. I don't need a strike here. So let me see. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Let me see. I think I might
About to wrap it up.
Yep.
All right, man. It was good talking to you, man.
Oh yeah, salute. Sharon is on.
Yeah, I see Sharon is on. Yeah, he and what's his face is all talking right now. What's his name? Joe or Jake? Oh, God,
That old type.
Yeah. What's his real name again? I forgot it.
I have no idea.
Because the white guy who comes on the panel, both of them have the same name. Josh. Yeah. His name is Josh also, so they call him the Black Josh, and the other guy they call him the White Josh. They've been making fun of them the last couple of weeks. Because sometimes they both on the panel together. Yeah. All right, man. Well, you take care of yourself.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.
Salute. Y'all know how I always end this thing. I always tell y'all, be great. And we up out.